Hi, you guys. Okay, this week in math, we're doing lesson 31, and it's all about measurement, just like last week. So this week, you're going to just use objects. It'll say strips or something else. You can just use whatever you want, or you can draw something. So the first page says, trace your strip next to the paper below. Is it taller, shorter, or the same? Circle the word. So they can get anything they want, even the pencil they're using. Just stick it right up to it. Make sure the bottoms are matching or the tops are matching. And then they're going to pick taller, shorter, or the same. Or you can have them draw something. It's fine. On the next page, this one says draw a line that's shorter than the yellow pencil. This one says draw a line that's longer than the orange pencil. So you're going to want to make sure that you start at this dotted line. So they're starting at the same point. On this part, you don't have to do the boxes unless you want to. Don't forget number 2 at the bottom. It says draw an X on the longer arrow. So this one would be the longer one. So I would just put an X on that. Just like that. Then you're going to have them do the back on their own. I would still read these to them unless you feel like they can read them on their own. It says draw a line that's shorter than the orange crayon and draw a line that's longer than the green crayon. Again, this is exactly what we did on this page. So seeing how much they can do on their own. For day 2, it says, how can you find which table is longer without putting them next to each other? So these tables aren't next to each other. They're not side by side. So how can you figure that out? So on this part, they just can write, or they can just tell you how they would figure that out. What would you use? Would there be measurement tools you can use? On this page, it says, how can you find which table is longer without putting them next to each other? So that's the same as this one. It's just this is telling you how the math book would do it. And then on the connect it, it's how is your way on this page like this one, and how is it different? How would you use a piece of string to help you compare lengths of the tables? So that's using this information in this question. And then down here, you'll do these together. It says compare each comb to the same picture of piece of string. Which comb is longer? The blue comb is longer than the string. The pink comb is blank than the string. The blue comb is blank than the pink comb. So this is just using those math words, longer, shorter, those things right there. On the next page, there's some more practice where they're using the same words again. And I would definitely tell them that some of the words are on the paper. So this one says shorter, this one says longer, so they can use the spelling of these words to fill in the blanks. And then this one too, and I think it's really important to look. They went from the very edge of the cat. I think that's really important because a lot of kids won't start at that point. And then this is the same piece of string, so you can tell which one's longer and which one's shorter. And then you'll have them do this page on their own. So they're doing the same thing. They're looking at these 2 benches, and then they're filling out longer and shorter. On the back, same thing, longer and shorter. This one's the challenge one, and it's a Buzz and Boom. So it says, Boom measured the 2 desks with the same piece of string. Buzz says the green desk is longer. Boom says the purple desk is longer. Who is right? Circle Buzz or Boom. So you might have to read that a few times to them so they can figure out whose is what. For day 3, this one says, the shoe is shorter than the strip of paper. The spoon is longer than the same strip of paper. Is the shoe longer or shorter than the spoon? How do you know? Whoa. Do you remember what I read? These ones are always hard for first graders. So what I usually have them do is I have them write, like draw it out. So it says the shoe is shorter than the strip of paper. So I might draw a strip of paper. Let me use marker. So I might just draw the strip of paper, and it says the shoe is shorter. So then I'm going to draw a shoe. And I just made it smaller than the strip of paper. Then it says the spoon is longer than the same strip of paper. So now I need to draw a spoon that's bigger than the paper, right? Then it says, is the shoe longer or shorter than the spoon? Well, because we drew it, you can tell right away if the shoe is longer or shorter. Okay? So by drawing it, that kind of gives you the how do you know. I know because I drew it and the spoon's longer than the paper and the paper is longer than the shoe. So therefore the shoe is shorter than the spoon. So, and they can just tell you that. But I would definitely have them draw it as you're writing it. For this page, the math book did it how they wanted to do it. And then you just fill in shorter or longer here. So then you're going to take your way here. So like I drew them all three together and the math book did two separate pictures. So that would be how they were different. But how they're the same, they both use pictures. So that's what I would say for here. Chris is shorter than Amy. Ray is taller than Amy. Boom says Chris is shorter than Ray. Do you agree? Why or why not? This is another great one for them to draw it. So it says Chris is shorter than Amy. So I might draw a stick figure with a C in the head for Chris. He's shorter than Amy, so I need to draw Amy taller. Like that. I just put an A in the head so I know it's Amy. And then it says Ray is taller than Amy. Ooh, Jake, tell your brother he's famous. Then it says Boom says Chris is shorter than Ray. Is Chris shorter than Ray? Chris is shorter than Ray. Do you agree with that? Is he smaller than Ray? Yes. And then you can say I drew a picture and Chris is shorter than Amy and Ray is taller than Amy. So therefore Ray is taller than Chris. This one's the same as yesterday. You're doing shorter or longer. Same thing here, shorter or longer. This one is just telling them. So I would have them draw it or see if they could do it on their own, either way. And then down here, you're doing the same thing, shorter or longer. For the practice page, it's the same thing. They have the pictures, they're writing shorter or longer. Same thing on the next page. And then these two are a little bit harder. So I would read them to them, have them draw pictures or not, it's up to them, for both of these. And then day 5 or day 4 on Thursday, it's the same thing except now we're circling it and drawing lines. So this page, let me move it down a little bit. It says draw a line that's longer than the pencil, circle the shortest object. So it's 2 steps. So draw a line that's longer than the pencil. Then it says circle the shortest object. That would be the pencil. Then it says the crayon is shorter than the pencil. So I would draw a crayon, put a C on it. Is shorter than the pencil. The pencil is shorter than the notebook. The crayon is blank than the notebook. Is the crayon shorter or longer than the notebook? I would just have them draw. I just do quick sketches. And then down here, they're just circling it. It says compare lengths, then circle the correct words. So the triangle is longer than the yellow one or shorter than the yellow one. And then down here is a buzz and boom, so it's a little bit trickier. And down here, they're writing longer or shorter. For the practice page, it's exactly the same. As you can see, all of the teaching pages are examples that are just like the practice one, so we can see how much they're transferring over. So it says compare the lengths, then fill in the blank. So this is the easy one. They already have it drawn for them, so they can easily and quickly look to see who's the longest dog. This one says draw a line that's shorter than the pencil. Circle the longest object, so it's a little bit different. This one looks a lot like the triangle one, so I would just read it to them and have them choose. This one says the blue worm is longer than the white worm. The white worm is longer than the gray worm. Again, I would have them draw it, but you don't have to. And then this one is exactly like this one. It's just with different objects. And then for day 5 is just a review of all the pages that we just did. So I would read each problem and see how much they can do independently without giving you help. Like, don't tell them to draw it. Don't give them any strategies. Just read the problem and see how much they can do on their own. And if they're struggling, that's fine. That's okay. Then that lets you know that maybe they need a little bit more practice in that area. So that's both pages. And again, in class, I would read all of these to them. So I think that'll help out, see how well they do on the measurement. And then next week, we'll also be doing measurement too, but we'll be using things to measure. So I think these two chapters are a good foundation for them to start the next one. All right, I hope this helped. If you need any help, let me know. And hope you guys have a good week in math. Bye.